I am very glad to see Face's Music Party return to the block, as it will return with Face's Holiday Countdown Party, and it's a holiday special. Alright, that seems quite reasonable enough. And then there's Bossy Bear. It says Friday, December 8th, 2023 at 8:37 p.m. p.m., huh? Well, that's because it is going to air on the Nick Jr. channel, not the block. Face's Music Party, set 11:30 a.m. on Nickelodeon, the Nick Jr. block. Bossy Bear? Nope. It's going to be at the Nick Jr. channel. I'm not really interested about the series, but there seems to be something going on. What is going on right now? Well, I guess this might as well be explained here about what is going on with the Nick Jr. channel. With the Nick Jr. channel having a decent amount of variety as what it seems, Bossy Bear is confirmed to be burned off permanently. Unless there is an actual update that the show might return to the Nick Jr. block, but the chances are pretty slim. I like how Nick Jr. is having a decent lineup compared to the other sister networks, even though it has so much Peppa Pig and PAW Patrol, and it was quite surprising to see Gabby's Dollhouse return. But my goodness, did the PAW Patrol marathon really cause permanent burnoffs? Because I really hope that there will actually be updates on Blue's Clues and You with these network premieres airing first on the Nick Jr. channel because the Nick Jr. block was busy with the whole PAW Patrol takeover thing, to air on the Nick Jr. block afterward. Maybe next year? Hopefully that will ever happen, if confirmed, because Blue's Clues and You really is a special series, and it shouldn't be permanently burned off like that. It's Blue's Clues. It is one of Nick Jr.'s most iconic names. And for what they're going for, I fear that it might happen to some other shows. The Nicktoons treatment may be gone, but there is still one that is standing, and that is the Nick Jr. treatment. I am glad to see how Nicktoons is handling, how the original Nickelodeon animated series are not burned off as of now, thank goodness, but Nick Jr., oh, they are currently burning off Santiago of the Seas, and of course there's Paddington, which is very, very sad to see because Paddington didn't deserve this, it deserved better. You know, come to think of it, maybe the Every Paw Patrol Ever marathon shouldn't have been on the Nick Jr. block after all. At first I was like, please don't be on the Nick Jr. channel to end up like Henry Danger. But now, I honestly kinda wanted it to be on the Nick Jr. channel and not the Nick Jr. block. Because these shows had to suffer. They had to be airing new episodes on the Nick Jr. channel because the block was filled with nothing but PAW Patrol. And it is very unfortunate, especially that PAW Patrol is not even an original, even though it's by their 10th anniversary. With Cartoon Network celebrating Teen Titans Go's 10th anniversary, at least that made sense because there was more time slots, even though it had Acme Night and Cartoonito at that time. The Nick Jr. block, a few hours, and that is probably it. Well, not a few, but it is definitely less than Cartoon Network before they had to settle through losing some hours. A few years ago, when it comes to Nicktoons, they did an Every SpongeBob Ever marathon. It was about SpongeBob And they did it twice. The first time it didn't work so well, and then there was a second time where they used it at like late nights, and it was used pretty well there. Maybe they should have done that to Paw Patrol and Nick Jr. instead of doing this in the block after all, and I kind of regret saying that the Paw Patrol takeover shouldn't have been on the channel, because now I kind of wanted it there so that other shows wouldn't have been burned off like that. But they did promise, with Face's Music Party returning with its holiday special, Tiny Chef returning with its holiday specials. Already did it with the Thanksgiving one, and is also having the Christmas one. Hopefully Blue's Clues and You will be next for airing these premieres on the Nick Jr. block instead of the Nick Jr. channel. Especially because, well, it's Blue's Clues. Well, it's a shame that it actually had to deal with something, with some shows still being burned off to the Nick Jr. channel. And it's a shame because the Nick Jr. channel, while having decent scheduling, they really shouldn't do this with the Paw Patrol treatment. It's unfair. And that Paw Patrol marathon really didn't seem like a good idea to air on the block. Maybe it should have been on the channel after all. Dang. Yeah, that wasn't a good idea to celebrate its 10th anniversary like that. Even though other shows did promise to air later on after their premieres on the Nick Jr. channel to have network premieres on Nickelodeon. Maybe next time they will understand that it isn't a good idea to do this. Because the Paw Patrol marathon, yeah, it did not do well for the other shows. Anyway, guys, this is Kawaii Life Antonio, signing off. Peace. Oh, yeah. And what are your guys' thoughts about this? Do you think that the Paw Patrol marathon caused some problems with the other shows? As I really hope that next year will be a good year for Nick Jr. on Nick. Even though it was understandable, Paw Patrol's 10th anniversary, but still, that was a bit too much to be on the block instead of the channel. Even though it would have ended up like Teen Nick with Henry Danger. Though, that would have at least made sense, because with Henry Danger, it was just, there was no anniversary of that. Anyway, guys, this is Kawaii Life Antonio, signing off. Peace. Again, stay cool.